What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about Liu Mei, the light kung fu girl, who is this month's Hall of Heroes. We're just going to rock through all 10 stages, talk a little bit about the dungeon, and kind of general Hall of Heroes strategies. So that was what I used, I guess, last time. For early Hall of Heroes levels, I generally like to nuke as hard as I can until I hit a wall where I can't nuke anymore, because why not? So we're going to use all the twins. Trying to see if any of them have a leader skill that are usable, but they don't. And these first couple levels will be pretty quick. I can speed them up a little bit if they're a little slow, but they just go crazy on these things. Like, look at them like one-shotting the waves. So one thing about this Hall of Heroes in general is it's really pretty easy compared to past ones. We'll speed them up a little bit. It's pretty easy compared to past ones because there's no immunity, there's no real healing, and there's no real buffs that they're getting, apart from things like Fuko shields and stuff like that. So you can really nuke into them as hard as you can. So 37 seconds for the first level. That's what I did. I just nuked into them as hard as I could. And when I got to the later levels, we'll speed this up even more because it's the same thing for quite a while. But the twins were great. You know, the more twins, the better, because instead of 5 monsters, you're getting 10 monsters basically. Every time one attacks, you get 2 for the price of 1. So pretty sweet. And I don't know, we've had some difficult ones lately, so this one was much better. It was just a super easy mellow clear, so that was 46 seconds for floor 2. To clear all the content this time, it took about half an hour for me for the 10 floors, which, about 3 minutes a floor on average, and of course you can see it was quick here and then sped up towards the end. I think I ended up having 2 fails overall, and the first one is... see if we can speed up even more. The first one's coming up when I can no longer use my 5 twins team, and then there's one a little bit later too, so we'll see that here in a second. So 58 seconds, floor 3. Rolling along to floor 4. These twins they're just fun to watch. Like, it's pretty amazing that Com2uS made a set of 4 stars that are not really game-breaking PvP, but are game-breaking PvE, and are fun to watch. Like, that's pretty impressive. Because it's a little bit of power creep, of course, but they kind of have to make new units relevant, otherwise people will immediately get them and say, I don't want that, what do I care about that, Kind of like some of the paladins were earlier. So 117, floor 4. Moving on to floor 5. Yeah, when the paladins first came out, especially the light fusion, they're really careful about those fusion monsters not being game-breaking. Like the Fire Panda works a little bit for new players, but isn't gonna put them over the top in any way, but it will help them a little bit in PvE. And then the light paladin to start out was okay, and now it's a little bit better, but still not quite game breaking. Like, it's not gonna break the game for everybody to have her. 119, floor 5, still on the twins, and we're just nuking them down. Like, I think nuking is actually safer than playing it slow in this HOH, because they're gonna nuke you back. Like, this is not a light hitting dungeon. They hit pretty hard, especially you get those Fays in there. You get the blue Kung Fu girls. I mean, you got to hit them before they hit you. Going first, I think, is super important. So there's my first fail. So now I'm like, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, just soon. We'll add just soon. Get a little healing, get an attack buff. And I'm going to take out the 2 blue twins, because they're my weaker, squishier ones. And I'm going to add in a couple more tanky monsters. I'm adding in Varad and my Grego. So we'll see how that goes. Varad should be, well, not an obtainable monster for HOH, but you should have people on your friends list that rep a Varad, hopefully. So you'll get a couple shots per day with their Varads. That's what I do in my ult, Like, whoever has a Varad, I use them every time I can, and then hopefully you get 2 or 3 cracks at it throughout the course of the HOH. And Grego's just another DPS, but as a tankier DPS is why I brought him. My thought, too, is he might tank out some of the light monsters as well. And it just so happens, because of the 4-star arena going on right now, my Grego and Jasoon are really, really well groomed, so they're sort of ideal for this content right now. And you can see the slight change, making pretty short work of the boss here. A little bit of control. So 222, floor 6. Moving on to floor 7. So in terms of HOHs in general, this is my general progression. Like, you can't worry about wiping, because if you want to not auto it, you're probably going to wipe at some point, just from bad luck or the wipe tells you when it's time to go a little safer. So I'll often wipe a couple times when I'm trying to do my, speedy fast clears, and then I'm like, okay, so now I need to get a little safer. And often what I'll add in is a healer or a reviver, another good thing to have. But generally, starting to add in the controls, what kind of makes it work. And Varad, in particular, is sort of the king of controls. He was a great choice here. A tanky, like TOAH water homunculus would also be a good pick, I think, if you have one of those. But yeah, just a little bit of control was able to mitigate the damage enough for me, and it's kind of lucky that the two red twins kind of bring quite a bit of control as well. The fire boomerang has 244, floor 7, moving to floor 8. The fire boomerang in particular has stuns on 2 of her 3 skills, and her 3rd skill is a guaranteed, like, doesn't check anything. It's guaranteed, like Tiana guaranteed stun on the target you select. So it's really, really great in PvE for attacking things you have elemental disadvantage against, or things that are really hard to stun. So things that are built high resist, like, Wind Panda, or, stunning Orions with a fire monster is not easy, so that's kind of nice. Pretty impressed with the Fire Twins. Especially being able to build them up for the 4-star league is pretty neat to see them. Not even at their height. They're still good, and they're not skilled up at all. So pretty neat to see them. I'd love to skill them up, but I think it's going to take an HOH and guild points to be able to do it, because I don't know how I'll pull 10 of them. I've got a million twins. So 231, floor 8, moving on to floor 9. We're kind of in the groove with this team. We did 5 levels with just the twins, and now we're on our 4th level with the addition of Varad and Jasun. Speed up a little more, see if it won't get all pixely. It might. My invisible cup. So it's basically the same deal. This was like I said, this is a really easy HOH compared to ones in the past. The only thing I could see messing people up is if you're not nuking hard enough, or if you're not going first, or your whole team kind of needs to go first. You need to, establish yourself every floor. Don't let them get the jump on you, especially these triple fays. I'm not seeing them at their full height of threat, but they're super scary if they get a turn, so don't let them get a turn. So this is floor 9, 313. We had to recharge there. We're going on to floor 10, same team. And if I remember correctly, this is a fail, which is unfortunate. I was like, oh wow, we'll just clear it out, the same team all the way. But they just end up hitting a little too hard, especially kind of near the end of the dungeon here. Like floor 4, I think I lose a monster. Floor 5, I lose all the monsters. Spoilers. It's coming up. I kind of like that mini boss. I think that's a Sema with double DS. That's kind of interesting. Just interesting to see how they put these together. It'd be fun to be on the team to compose the HOH, You want it to be beatable, but you want it to be a little puzzle, kind of tricky. Maybe it is. So we lost one of our twins on floor 4, which means we're not getting the control, we're not getting the multi-hits. And I thought we had it here. I was like, oh, we'll get it. Varad will be fine. The other twin will get it done. No big deal. But we get nuked. Oh well. So Grego's gone, and we're going to bring in a little more control. We'll bring in Okeanos for just a little more control. Well, slow it down because it is all pixely. Here we go. So same basic thing. Grego brought some interesting things to the table, but he was pure DPS with a defense break, but the twins have defense breaks. So I liked Grego in there just for fun, but I think, double control, whether it's Varad or Okeanos or Charlotte or Poseidon, any of those kind of premier control monsters, Ganymede, bring them. If you got them, bring them. I think you're going to need a healer for the later stages because they're going to get a turn or two. A reviver would be even safer. Those Huadam users will probably just continue to wreck the HOHs as usual. But it looks a little safer from this point. I'm mitigating more of the damage via control. Locking down some of the mobs, some of the mini-boss a little bit. Just kind of keeping them off my back. So there's the Oki opener, stuns 3. What's nice is the combination of bar reduce and stun. That's another thing I try to incorporate when I'm bringing control. You don't want really double bar reduce because then they might overlap each other, especially on auto. And you don't want double stun for the same reason because they might overlap on stun. Let's just slow it down for the boss. So if I bring Varad, I generally won't also bring Charlotte sometimes because they'll both bar reduce. But Charlotte also has a stun, so it's hard to say. But Oki and Varad in particular work really well together. He has the stun, he has the skill reset, and Varad has all the bar reduce. And, you know, versions of stun too, so I don't know. It's kind of a wash, but that's something to keep in mind, the combination of bar reduce and stun. Alright, so we're looking much healthier this time. Twins are alive. 402 final level, and that is the HOH. We're going to take a look at the runes real quick. I'll slow it down so you can get a good look here. Just so you know kind of what I'm using here. So this is the Maruna. She's my more DPS-y Fire Twin. Violent Blade. And you can pause the video if you want to take a look at the runes, but she's on my Mei Hoo's runes. He's unruined right now, so she's ruined as he would normally be for the 4-star arena. Here's my Shayna. She's 250 speed. Tanky, tanky, tanky. Violet. Well, she's on my Ganymede's runes, so Ganymede is unruined right now. So that's why she's fast and tanky. So that's Shayna. Let's take a look here. Chasun. Chasun is on, she's 260, 36,000 HP, Violent Will. She's on my Molong's runes, so she is on my best Violent Will set. Pretty crazy what she can do when you give her Molong's runes. Like, pretty neat. I've been having a lot of fun with her in real-time arena, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone pick one against me. Like, no one's really using her, so it's kind of interesting. She's uncontested. Here's Varad, 230, Violent Will. He's kind of on his normal set. Speed, HP, defense. I forgot if it was defense. That's a really nice defense rune I have there. It's a legend with lots of accuracy. Perfect for Varad. And then I think we're going to take a look at the Grego as well, since we used Grego quite a bit. Violent Blade, he's on my Perna's runes, so that's why he's kind of tanky and fast and all that good stuff. It's been tough, no Perna though. Guild Wars are killing me. I'm just failing left and right. I apparently rely on Perna a ton. So that's Grego. And then we want to take a look at Mr. Okeanos. He's on Swift. I think he's on kind of my second Swift set, 286. He could be a little faster, but I want that accuracy on him, and I want him to be just a little bit tanky, so that's why he's on the runes he's on. Speed, defense, accuracy. So those are the runes. Oh, that is a cattail in front of the camera. Excuse me. And that is the HOH. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Good luck to everybody this weekend. If you haven't set your Varad reps, please set your Varad reps for your friends. And I will catch you next time. Take care, everybody.